What do you want to do next? After like stab, carjack, like what's your next one?
What's my next traumatic experience?
Yeah, what are you looking for?
Like tuberculosis or something.
Oh my god, no, wait,
Yeah.
clear cancel. Clear cancel.
Hi everyone, it's me, Dom. Welcome back to Dom Meets World. Hope you've been enjoying the podcast so far. This week on the show, I have a very special guest. She has a background in wellness, spirituality, and currently goes to school for music production. Please welcome Iris Dailey. Woo! Woo! Hey, you just got here. You just walked in and sat down.
Hi.
Hey. So how's everything?
It's really good. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, how's are you from LA?
No. I'm from Idaho.
Okay, what's in Idaho? Okay, first of all, let me preface this by saying I'm really bad at geography.
Okay.
I thought Alaska was a country.
Oh, okay. It is actually.
Also thought Seattle was a state.
It is.
Which is not.
No, it is.
Oh, are you gaslighting
I was
me?
gaslighting you. You're right.
Are you because I love being gaslit. Love bombing and gaslighting is my
right.
shit.
Okay.
Tell me you love me and then tell me that and then convince me you never said that.
I never saw that.
This is amazing.
All right, cool.
Okay, so Idaho.
Yes.
What's it like growing up in Idaho? What's in Idaho? What's Idaho known for?
I mean, it's really beautiful. I'm going to avoid saying potatoes, but it's definitely...
Is potatoes a big thing in Idaho?
Yeah, it's like their biggest export.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your favorite potato?
Damn.
Do you have a favorite potato?
Oh, I shouldn't have said it.
Are you into potatoes?
My potatoes are my passion, so I'm really excited that you asked about this.
Yeah.
Fries are good. Actually, that's pretty much all. Yeah, that's about it.
What about like sweet potato?
Sweet potatoes are good.
Sweet
potatoes? Yeah. Are you from Idaho?
Yeah, I know a lot about. I know all about different species.
Right.
There's Yukon
Okay. Wow.
potatoes. Is that one?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I'm fucking sick. I be knowing shit. I'm proud of myself.
We're only talking nicely about you in this podcast. No more being mean to yourself in my presence. You can do it when I leave.
No, it's good. It's humbling. I like when traumatic shit happens to me. It brings me down to earth.
All right.
I never stray too far
All right.
from my britches.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, it's good. I just look at it like, when my life is going too good, because I can get like,
girly.
I get really like arrogant. I get really.
All right.
cocky.
Okay, I can see
I get a little bit of money.
All right.
I'm blowing it all.
Same.
I'm buying whatever. I
Okay,
can get.
live fast. That's
yeah.
okay.
And then, but before that happens, the universe is like, no, stabbed. Now it's like, now you can't spend your money because you're in the hospital.
What do you want to do next? After like stab, carjack, like what's your next one?
What's my next traumatic experience?
Yeah, what are you looking for?
Like tuberculosis or something.
Oh my god, no, wait,
Yeah.
clear cancel. Clear cancel. Do not claim.
What are you doing? What is that?
I'm clearing.
What was that?
It's like sound clearing. It's like a bit. It's a bit.
Is that witchcraft?
Yes.
Or something?
Yeah. Are you in love with me yet, or?
Don't get me started on that. I always say I love you so fast.
All right, yeah,
That's
true.
like my thing.
Me too, and then I'll tell you that I never said that.
It's because I'm a Cancer.
Right? Okay, wait. Now we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me the birth chart.
Okay, so before I tell you my birth chart, I just want to confirm. I'm not ran through, but I do know my entire chart. That doesn't mean I'm ran through. I know there's like a stigma. It's only because, and this is funny.
I'm not ran through.
You know, like on TikTok?
Yeah.
How there's like trends and stuff? I've had a lot of phases on TikTok. I've been on
Okay.
TikTok for a minute now.
All right.
I first blew up on TikTok
All
on astrology talk.
Oh, really? Wait,
What?
what? Because it's so bad?
Yeah, because I was like known as like the cancer guy. You know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just
All
a
right.
poison to society. Just a disease
cancer.
spreading amongst the platform.
Slay. Okay.
Okay, but no, I'm a Cancer sun,
Right. Same. And then we have the same.
moon, Cancer moon, Taurus rising,
Okay, cool.
Cancer Venus.
Oh, okay. You are a lover.
Why-
I'm like, oh, that was cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, I get that reaction a lot.
I'm like very transparent. No, that's good. You're a lover. A little lover boy.
Leo, Mercury.
Okay. Also makes sense.
Is it Mars is another one, right?
There you
Mars, Taurus.
go. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we have a similar birth chart.
What's yours?
I have 3 Cancer placements as well. Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon, Cancer Mercury. But Cancer Mercury, Leo Mercury is solid. We'll have a good chat.
Yeah.
And then Gemini Venus.
Is that bad?
It's not good.
Dude, people don't like Geminis, right? That's like a thing.
Yeah, because they're silly. I like Geminis. Geminis are good, but also I have like 2 Gemini placements.
Mm.
But yeah, it's like the negative qualities of Geminis people don't like, but every sign has negative qualities, so it's a pretty biased thing to say that you don't like a sign because like there's like.
But I have a hot take.
Right.
There's signs that I have a hot take.
You're like, no, I don't like them.
There's signs that I don't like,
Okay.
but not because of their negative or positive qualities.
Okay.
Because
I'm just to not like them.
Yeah.
All right, give me them. Why not?
Libra.
Okay. Honestly.
Because like, what do? You know what I mean? I'm just
Yeah,
like
yeah, of course.
what's your thing? What is your thing? You're not like at least like I know it's shitty to be a Cancer. Like people are like, oh,
Right.
you're a Cancer, man.
Right.
You are trash.
Right.
But at least people are talking about me. You know what I mean? At least there's like I have a thing.
All right. Okay. So
Libra, it's like Libra. What?
It's like lackluster for you.
Yeah.
All right. Go off.
Like Gemini, I'm like, cool. Everyone hates you,
Crazy.
but at least
Okay.
people are talking
Go
about
off. Okay.
you. And then Aquarius, I'm like, what do you?
Look, I'm not. Look, Aquarians, Libras, I love you, and this is not my opinion at all. Just to
I'm not
clarify.
saying I'm not saying I was just like I'm happy I'm not.
You just like have it
Libra
out
or
for air
Aquarius.
signs.
No, I don't like. I want to say Capricorn, but my little brother's Capricorn. I fuck
Well,
with him.
Cancers and Capricorns are mommy loves daddy.
Yeah,
Cancers
me and my
are
little
the
bro,
mommy.
we be getting along. We be vibing.
Yeah,
He's a
okay.
Capricorn, so I'd be
I
fucking
love
with him.
Capricorns.
And then I like Aries.
All
My
right.
best friend of my mom's Aries.
Right. Your mom's Aries.
And I've dated a lot of Virgos, so I Virgos.
Okay.
Don't like Sagittariuses.
Okay. Doesn't
That's-
like Sagittarius.
Yeah.
Sagittarians.
No. Sagittarians, no. But yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I'm just very indifferent to Aquarius and Libra.
Okay. What's your favorite sign?
Aries, probably. Aries probably my favorite sign.
All
What's
right.
yours?
I need to take a deep breath.
What do you usually?
Sorry, wait, let me have this. Okay, will you do it with me again?
Breathing?
But like, yeah, but like
Okay.
secretly, like off cam, like off
Okay,
editing.
no, don't. Okay.
Okay, anyways.
I've had so much caffeine that does nothing for me. I think it releases.
Yeah, honestly.
I think it's,
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think my heart just palpitated.
I had less caffeine for this moment specifically.
What sign do you usually date?
Oof.
Or are you just like
Cancers on accident.
freaky astro? You just
All
go
of
around
them.
all around the calendar.
I've had a lot of Cancer relationships. Most of them are Cancers. I'm done.
Okay.
Just kidding, not
You
really.
can count me out.
Yeah. I've dated every like woman I've been with has been a Scorpio for some reason, and then yeah, lots of water signs. But I would like a nice like stable Earth sign. Honestly, I don't want anyone right now. I want no signs. I want no signs. No signs. If you have a sign, I don't want to be none. I'm actually out of the game. But yeah, that is a sign that I've dated a lot. Virgo placements are pretty difficult. So
I've dated a lot of Virgos.
right.
And I'm single. So you know how those went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Virgo Cancer is good though.
Is it?
Yeah. You don't like
Coulda
hate them
fooled
now?
me. No, I don't hate them. It was actually a pretty good relationship. She actually got me into therapy and shit. So
Oh yeah, okay.
yeah, it
Nice
was
and
pretty-
grounded,
yeah.
healing.
it was pretty good.
They're the
I'm
healer.
a better person now.
Okay, that's
I
good.
used to think so. I don't know. The internet might say otherwise.
Well, I think you should definitely stick with like earth signs or water signs. You have a lot of earth and water. Hold on.
That was good ASMR.
Throw up in my mouth on for the microphone. It makes sense you don't like air signs when you're all earth and water. I think fire might be like exciting for you. You have a Leo Mercury, but maybe we'll like maybe there'd be a little chaos there. Maybe a little passion because you're water. I like fire signs.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of like we have similar like we have the 3 Cancer placements. So I do well with really stable earth signs. So that might be good for you as well. Stability. Especially Taurus rising, Taurus Mars, like you're a stable guy.
No, I'm not.
No,
I don't
he's
like,
not. He's not
I
stable.
don't like stability.
Okay,
I've
you
learned.
like
I've learned this
excitement?
recently.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
Here's my thing.
Right.
Right. I've learned this recently about myself. Right.
Okay.
I. This is a negative connotation. I'm gonna say it, but I don't think it's true.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Because like there's love bombing. Right.
Okay. Yeah. Which is classic Cancer, by the way.
Yeah, but I only say it's But like I only say it's love bombing when like you stop bombing. But I just keep on bombing. Like I'm just like
Okay, wait. Honestly, I kind of do the same, but I don't mean to. I mean it.
yeah.
Like I may like be really intense, really quick, but I mean everything
Yeah.
Like I'm not just like
Yeah, like I'm bombing until there's there's-
one toxic person to the next.
Yeah, like I'm like,
Like, yeah.
I'm love bombing until there's nothing
Yeah.
left. Every
Yeah.
building is just like,
Yeah.
and it's like I don't consider that love bombing. That's
Okay.
just loving. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You love hard. That's
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. But the thing is,
Mm-hmm.
I also like it when someone's love bombing the shit out of me. Like,
Yeah, that's valid.
like just like when if I say
Yeah.
like I love you, and you
Mhm.
say I love you back, I'm in.
All right.
And then if like I'm like talking about our houses together and like we're gonna build a home,
All right.
kids' names,
All right.
and then we just keep on doing that until those things.
All
it's
right.
like we're not love bombing, we're manifesting.
Okay. That's nice.
Yeah, but it can also be very,
Like,
but it can also be very chaotic.
My commitment issues. I'm like, yeah, that's not how I operate. But I
Do you have
respect
commitment
you.
issues?
I just don't prefer to at this moment in my life.
Ah, but it's so much fun though.
Yeah, it's ended really well for the both of us. So
Yeah, but you can't dwell on the past. You got to move on. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
for sure.
You got to
for
grow
sure.
from that, learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, once I like fully release all that, I'm sure I'll be down and open. But at the moment, I think I have a lot in the way.
What's in the way?
Just like really chaotic, painful endings that like still weigh pretty heavy. That I'm just like respecting that it takes like time to release.
Was it a breakup?
Yeah,
Long?
it was rough. It was with someone who's a Cancer and a Cancer Venus.
Oh,
Actually.
shit.
Ew.
Yeah.
But
Was it a long relationship?
yes, it was 3 years. We lived together and just like really formative years of my life. And like you get it, like you fall really, really hard for people. And like, yeah, I just kind of gave this person every ounce of my being and then had it end really explosively and horribly. And there's still like betrayal and anger and grief and sadness to release in order for me to like even remotely like let anyone in again. It would be like a lot of patience, and I don't know if I want to make someone be patient or if I even like have the time and space. Like I'm really busy. I'm a very busy girl, so I don't know if
Yeah.
like I don't know if I have the time or the energy, or maybe I just like haven't found a person that I think is worth it.
I also get like those are pretty like formative years.
Yeah.
Like I was in a 4-year relationship from like 18 to like 22,
yeah.
23-ish. And
like
it was like,
becoming a human.
yeah, we were just like two completely different people.
Yeah.
And it was also like,
Virgo?
oh, she was an Aquarius.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Aquarius, Cancer. Okay.
Yeah. We were both like each other's first love, and it was just so
Yeah.
intense
Yeah.
that like you just don't know how to communicate
Yeah, for
certain
sure,
things, and
for
like you would just end
sure.
up hurting each other.
For sure. You're learning like
Yeah.
emotional maturity,
Yeah.
and your bond is on desperation as well because it's your first love.
And it took me a few years until I was able to look back on the relationship, and I was like, okay, it was just an age thing, you know
yeah,
what I mean?
for sure.
And it's like,
For sure.
as I grew older, I was like, and I learned how to communicate in a relationship. It was
Yeah.
like I just didn't know how to do that.
Yeah, for sure. Your frontal
Yeah.
lobe is like not even fully developed.
Yeah,
You're like
exactly.
making life commitments.
And now I'm at the place now where I'm like, I'm fully able to communicate every
Yeah.
feeling, every emotion.
Yeah.
And if something's not right for me, I
Yeah.
know when to just like step away.
Yeah.
And I know I don't owe anybody anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Slay.
Whereas before it was
Yeah.
like, if I like date you immediately, I'm like, I owe you every ounce of me and I owe you the world.
Yeah, and then you abandon yourself in the process.
Yeah, exactly. And you give up
Yeah.
yourself and you dim your light to let the other person shine.
100%.
Because you want that. Because you know what I mean? Because you love that person so much.
Yeah, very much.
But then you have to learn to like look inside yourself and be like, I don't owe this person
Yeah, for sure.
that much or
For
part of
sure.
me. You know
For
what
sure.
I mean?
Yeah, because you're abandoning yourself in the process.
Exactly. And it's okay to put yourself first. So I think that's what you're doing right now. I think that's important.
Thank you. Thank you for understanding me. I think also right now it's like the love I give other people, I'm trying to give to myself. Like I'm trying to fully like for once just put, because I'm a serial monogamist. Like I was in a relationship for like 6 years. Like before that one, I was like, oh,
Yeah, talking to me about,
Yeah.
I gotta stop.
Yeah. Well, you're a lover boy. It's okay. It's okay to be. But for me personally, like it's just trying to give that to myself so I can like become who I am without the influence of like giving half of me to another person. Instead, I'd rather like give all of my energy to myself for now. And then right now, like if I'm going to get into my crazy girly speech, it's like, I don't think I would attract my partner that I want to end up with right now. Like I feel like the most like high vibrational, highest potential version of myself, like I'm still growing into. So right now I wouldn't attract the partner that would be like the match to my like to the self I want to grow into. Right now I would attract like another wounded person, and then we would just be a match with our wounds.
Yeah, and I think like you said, you're becoming the person you want to become right now. Like you're working on discovering on who you want to be.
Yeah.
Hence, like you just went to music production school, and you know you're focusing on that part of your life, which maybe you wouldn't have been able to focus on if you were in a relationship.
That's actually exactly what happened to my last one I was dating. That's actually what happened because I started that school. Also, wait, I'm not in music production school anymore.
Huh?
I'm not in music production school anymore.
But you.
I'm done with it now.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah, just
yeah, but I just mean like in past tense, like you probably wouldn't even pursued it.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
As much if you were in that relationship.
Yes, exactly. That's literally why I left my relationship. Like it was so toxic and it was so unhealthy. But like, I mean, like I'm sure you understand this, but like when you love someone so much, you just don't care. And when you're young, you just don't care. Like I would have let him treat me poorly for like the rest of my life. But I only left because I knew I couldn't pursue music and I couldn't like expand who I was in my career. So I didn't even leave for like the treatment. I left because I knew I couldn't pursue music. Like he was like energetically blocking my opportunities, and just like certain things in my life, I just knew deep down that I couldn't continue what I really wanted to do with my entire life if I was with this person.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like, I don't know if I'm getting this right, but like, did you have like a pretty like traumatic like childhood a little bit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe just a little.
Maybe. I don't know, because I feel like the way that I've realized, like, because I had a pretty traumatic childhood.
Yeah.
And that kind of is how I learned how to cope in relationships and how to love is like.
Yeah, exactly.
Take it with you. Yeah, take it with me. Like my dad left me twice, like when I was a kid.
Okay.
And going into my relationships, I kind of took that and to an extreme of being like, I'd never want to be like my dad. So it's like,
yeah, for sure.
When it comes to my friendships, my relationships, any relationship in my life, I'm 110% in. I'm super loyal, and like I try to make things work because I never want to look at myself as a failure like my dad was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
how old were you?
He first left when I was 2.
Oh wow.
And he came back when I was 10.
Okay.
He said, and like when your dad comes back, like I'm like, oh, my dad's back. He's like my hero.
And you're 10.
And I was 10, and then he said he was gonna pick me up from school one day.
No.
It was the best day of my life. Here, I'll tell you about it. It was the best day of my life, followed by the worst day of my life. I always was jealous because all my friends had their parents around and had like families, and my idea of family was a mom and a dad.
Right.
So I remember my mom was dropping me off at my dad's place at his apartment, and I was like, Mom, come upstairs, please, please, please. She's like, fine. So she came upstairs. We were watching Resident Evil. I was on the ground. My mom was here. My dad was here. Then like the scary part happened, and they jumped into each other's arms, and I was like, oh, I have a family. Then he said he was gonna pick me up the next day from school.
Yeah.
He never picked me up. Never showed up.
Wow.
My grandma had to come get me.
Wow.
And then he tried to come back that day and apologize. Saw my mom crying, and I saw him. And I was like, I never want to see you again. Like, I'll take care of my mom. I'll take care of the family.
Wow.
I don't need you.
Wow.
And then I never saw him again.
Wow.
I think I took that moment into every relationship, and I was like, I'm always gonna be there for that person. Like, if I tell you I love you, I mean it. It's just like and I think a lot of people view it as like, oh, he's so intense, or he's so extreme, and maybe so, but like that's just how I ended up learning how to love and how to like. It's like that, like. So, anyways, enough about me. But that's my traumatic.
That's a lot to carry, though, especially when you're 10. Like, when a child goes through things, they don't have the knowledge of like 29-year-old Dom. Like, you don't have the knowledge, so like the way you perceive it is you take it all to heart and you take it personally and you blame yourself, and that's a lot of responsibility to carry. Yeah,
and I think I've learned to like to deal with it and how to like really heal that inner child, because I have been going to therapy for a while now. Slay therapy. But yeah, especially when I was younger, it was like it just turned into like, you know, a lot of extreme accountability.
For
you
sure.
know, everything
for
is
sure.
This happened to me, it's my fault it happened
For
to me.
sure.
This is nobody else's fault.
For
like
sure.
I took a lot of responsibility.
Same, actually. And it actually like I feel is the reason why I have so much like growth is because like when something happens, like I take full accountability, and then I'm able to like grow from that opportunity instead of like be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, if that makes sense.
I feel like it reached a point though of like extreme ownership. It was like
Yeah, and then like blaming yourself for literally everything.
Yeah,
right?
that's
So,
like,
like,
I got
yeah,
stabbed.
for
So I was
sure.
like, this is on me. I shouldn't have
Yeah.
been there at that time. It was
Yeah, get stabbed.
This is my fault.
Get stabbed. I'm just really stabbable.
Just knives really cut into my skin easy, so I could see why I'd be an easy target.
Look, I'm really moisturized right now. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so I feel like it did reach an extreme point of ownership that I had to kind of like be like, you know what, it's okay to like not take 100% of the blame for things. Like sometimes shit just kind of happens and it's just out of your control.
For sure.
But yeah, I was curious if like, you obviously don't have to talk about it, but like if you have noticed like your experiences have kind of formed the person you are and how you're dealing with that.
I have like a tumultuous relationship with my same-sex parents, so like my mom, but more her mom. So I was raised by my grandma, which, I mean, if my audience is watching this, like they know a little bit about this. I've like spoken a bit about it, but my parents were just really busy growing up, and like they had 9 mouths to feed because I have 5 siblings. My grandma was living with us, like raising me. My siblings are like, my oldest one is 16 years older than me, and like there's a huge age difference. I was an accident. It was a surprise. But like the whole family, like my parents just had to feed 9 mouths, like literally 9 mouths. So they were just very busy and financially like not able to be my parent. And they're also very like emotionally unavailable just in life. They've both been through so much that like truly I don't blame anyone in the situation other than like just this, just like how like the cards I was dealt with like as I grew up. But my grandma was very abusive and all my siblings were at school. So like no one really knew except for my sister who was also getting abused, and like the girls would mainly get abused. So I just grew up in a lot of child abuse and also completely unseen child abuse. Like it's kind of the most like that I talk about the trauma that I've been through. It's probably the one that I've talked about the most, but probably because like I don't really feel seen in it. Like it's still not really, it's not really like acknowledged in my home life. So wow, I'm like really cutting into like modern day trauma, like how, but sorry about that. But yeah, it's just like, it's what I take into my relationships. Like I've been in multiple abusive relationships in my adulthood because like all I've known is abuse. Like, and I didn't even like understand that it was abuse. Like I didn't understand, like, I'm like, oh, I'm just being shoved. Like I'm not being punched. Like I've like my last relationship ended really explosively and I still didn't even understand like that it was as bad as it was because like I just hadn't been validated for so much of my life that like I wasn't able to self-validate. And like, does that make sense? Like,
yeah,
just having things not seen, you just like aren't able to like see it within yourself, like find your own truth in that. So it took me a long time to kind of just understand like, oh, I am being not treated well and I do need to like leave the situation because it's not safe for myself. And like multiple of those relationships. But yeah, I definitely take that with me. But I also like know that like our soul like experiences things, and like when we want to heal, we'll attract those experiences again. So like I do think it's kind of a blessing as well that I had that relationship and like I loved him so much. And for someone to like when you don't have a sense of family, you get so close with a person because they become your family, they become your everything. And then when it's a toxic relationship, they also isolate you and you don't have like any friends. So he was my best friend. He was all my friends. He was my family. He was my partner. He was everything to me. So when like those things happened, it was like the end of my entire world. It was like my entire like relationship to love was like cut off. Like just all the love in my life was like severed. But I'm like grateful for that experience because of how I was able to like grow and learn from it. Like I'm still definitely growing and learning. It's still pretty heavy, but the ability to see now all the pain that I'd experienced, but older, like my soul attracted like that experience again so I could heal that, and going on this journey of healing what I had been through in the past, but in a different form, is like bringing so many more realizations to like, oh, like maybe my needs weren't met as a child, but it was no one's fault and it's okay. And like now as an adult, I can meet my needs now, or like I can like hold myself accountable for taking care of myself now and like not abuse myself in the same way that I was abused as a child, because I think we like just repeat patterns. But yeah, I'm really grateful for the like taking it into adulthood, because just like being able to heal from it now as an adult and seeing it clearly with adult eyes instead of being like a child and not understanding anything. So
yeah,
just re-experiencing things.
What was like your kind of like escape from that? If you had any, did you have sort of like any sort of outlet when you felt like maybe you were alone? Was it like, I
Like
don't
as a
know,
child
music?
or an adult?
Both. Like, is there
Music
any?
for
It was
sure.
music.
For sure,
Was
music
it like,
always. I
like
wouldn't
what,
get in
like
trouble.
writing, listening?
Well, as a child, like I would always be in trouble. Like I was like always in trouble, like as like the reason to be like abused or punished. But I would never get in trouble for playing piano, and I'd never get in trouble for reading. So I found a lot of solace in reading and piano. And also like it's like a Cancer moon thing. Like a lot of, not to bring in astrology, but Cancer moons, like us, like a lot of artists are Cancer moons. Like you could literally name an artist and they're probably a Cancer moon or a Capricorn moon. Like
Yeah.
it's like really common, especially songwriters, like from Taylor Swift to Dua Lipa to Drake to like, just like names every person, but to like Jimi Hendrix. Like there's so many people with Cancer moons. So I think it's like natural for you and me to like find solace in writing music, and like the stereotype is that we just feel really deeply, and also that we process really deeply. So it's like processing really deeply is like the gift of Cancers and Cancer moons. Is like, yes, like the stereotype is that we feel a lot, but also that like we're able to process it as well. And so like songwriting is so fun, and I'm sure like that's like, have you found like love in that, like therapy in that?
Yeah, I think it's like, for myself, like I started writing, like I would just write poetry.
Yeah. Okay.
When I
Wait.
was a kid,
Same. Literally
yeah.
same. Wait.
I
Me
remember,
too.
yeah, I remember
Okay.
my mom, when I was really young, bought me this like book from Tupac called like A Rose from Concrete. And it was like this little black and white book.
Yeah, I know the book.
And it was like all these little poems that Tupac would write. So I remember I was like thinking like, and I knew I always wanted to like do music. And I remember I was like, oh, how cool would it be if I had like, you know, if I got super famous and people found these like little poems. So I just started writing these little poems in this little book every now and again. And just, it started getting like more and more.
Yeah.
I started expanding. It started just turning it like
Yeah.
from poems into just like straight up like just journal entries into just like talking about life, my day, song, and just like, and I was just like a collection of just like books on books on books of just like, I don't know what the I was saying when I was 15 years old. But no, it's definitely like, music has just been like that thing that saved my life. Like I always say, like my favorite artist is Kid Cudi.
Okay. Yeah. He's a Capricorn.
And when I was in high school, he had this song called Man on the Moon.
Okay. Yeah.
Literally saved my life.
Yeah.
Literally saved
Wow.
that song. Like to this day, it's like the song that like whenever I'm going through something, like I was going in my car, I drive, put on Kid Cudi, Man on the Moon, and like it just brings me to a level of just like it's gonna be okay.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite? Who's your favorite artist?
Frank Ocean.
Frank
Who's
Ocean.
also a Capricorn moon.
Oh wow.
I know it's literally everyone, I swear, but yeah, I love Kid Cudi as well. The Prayer was my favorite, which I can't find like anywhere because it's probably copyrighted, like Band of Horses
Oh yeah.
from the funeral.
His mixtape. Yeah, Band of Horses.
Yeah.
I
but
actually
The
saw
Prayer's
him
so good.
in Chicago at Summer
Oh yeah.
Smash Festival,
Okay.
and it was funny because like it was like during a time when like my show just came out, so a lot of people knew who I was or whatever like that, and I only went because I knew Kid Cudi was headlining.
Right.
He was going on. I was already drunk. I got like 8 more White Claws, and I'm just like rushing to like the middle of like the crowd, and I just have all these White Claws. And I'm just like this listening to him, and he was playing The Prayer, and I'm
wow.
and I'm singing, and I'm in tears.
Yeah, of course.
Crying.
Yeah, go off. Of course, that's your
And I'm
Love that for you.
totally forget that people
Wow.
know who I am.
Oh my God, yes.
I go on Instagram like the next morning, just videos of me in this crowd, just crying, singing The Prayer. I thought it was so funny.
That's so funny. I would love to see that video. You have to show me, please.
Oh yeah, I have it on my Instagram. I have a post. I put in a photo dump, and someone
That's
like literally,
so
it's like
funny.
someone's like zoomed in on my face. I'm like, yeah.
So funny.
But
Well,
yeah.
yeah, The Prayer is like, that's probably my like Man on the Moon song. That's my favorite Kid Cudi song, but
What kind of music do you write, or like is kind of like if you had to describe your music?
it ranges from R&B to just regular pop, I would say, or like I've always had like a bad taste in my mouth for the word pop, which is like so dumb, but or indie maybe, but really like I make music for the energy behind it. So it's kind of like the music that I'm releasing within the next year is kind of like multiple different genres. It doesn't exactly have like a specific one. Definitely like inspired by all my favorites like Frank Ocean and Tame Impala, and just like naming very basic artists.
Yeah.
I'm like Drake, Taylor Swift, just like anyone that's like an artist. But yeah, I mean, music for me is like the energy behind it. So like how like that's able to soothe you so much. Like Kid Cudi has soothed you genuinely and like touched you deeply to your soul.
Yeah.
Where you're able to like literally like come to a place of feeling okay again. Like I think that's so beautiful about music. Like I mean, like Billie Eilish's song, like What Was I Made For, like immediately transports you into like deep sadness and like the feeling of like purposelessness and just being like absolutely heartbroken. And like the fact that it can like immediately change our energetic and emotional states to me is like so, that's like the closest thing to like magic that humans have access to. Like that is like the most spiritual thing that I think could possibly exist. Like music doesn't even exist in like tangible form. Like we can't even like hold music. Like we could like print it onto vinyls, but like we can't even like, we just like process these like sound waves into like chemical and then electrical impulses. But yeah, it's more about like the energy, like being able to soothe someone or have like songs that the purpose is to like be an affirmation and release like anxiety or like just be really happy.
I have this thing about music, right?
Okay.
It's like the same thing I have with like movies
Yes.
of like pain is always rewarded
Yeah.
kind of deal.
Yeah, like there's an equal and opposite reaction to everything on
Yeah.
my Isaac Newton shit.
I feel like there's this like inner like philosophical like I don't know the word I'm thinking of. This like inner philosophical inner dialogue I constantly have as like a musician of like I can't be happy almost. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it stems from that. It also stems from like the songs that win Song of the Year aren't like
right.
Pharrell happy. You know what I mean? No one wants to
Yeah.
hear Pharrell happy all the
Yeah.
time. You know, the movies that win Oscars are like The Revenant, you know?
Yeah. For
like
sure.
Pineapple Express isn't gonna win movie of the year.
Yeah,
it's just like
sure.
that's just not like
Yeah.
a thing, you know? So it's like as a musician sometimes I feel like I'll even when I'll get into a relationship sometimes or I'll start dating somebody, I'm like, this is going really well. And it's like and then it translates into my songwriting or when I'm with my band and it's like it just doesn't I feel like I'm almost letting down.
Because you're too happy.
Yeah.
Like life is too good right now. I have nothing to write about.
Yeah. Or it's like I write a happy song and I'm like, this isn't like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It does.
Like it just like, I don't know, my song, it doesn't hit the same.
Yeah, that has been very difficult as well, honestly. Well, I think like being like a like spiritual person and spiritual like creator and like high vibrational is like my whole thing. Like I do find importance in like the pain within creativity because like just validating the human experience and like the depth of human emotion. Yeah. I also think like that's like a gift you have, and like being someone who's been through so much is like the depth of your emotion and the depth of what you've experienced and like how deeply you've been ripped open. Like you get to like create that into like co-create that with the universe and like put that into something where another person can like open their heart because they've heard that and then like soothe them in that way. Yeah. But
why is like
sorry, back to what we
why is like sadness the relatability thing of like just like everything in general? Like I remember like being on TikTok or streaming and someone's like, all you do is complain. And I think to myself, I'm like, that's media. It's just like if there's no like conflict, then there's no resolution, and there's no narrative, there's no story. So everything you see, especially on social media, is like someone like complaining, self-deprecation.
That's just like, wild.
Because there just has to be a resolution at some point in order for the story to make sense. Yeah. If you're happy the whole, it's kind of like how like Emma Chamberlain or like the other girl, Madeline RG, kind of like the same kind of like that relatability factor of like, you know, they're kind of like, oh, I'm like kind of like depressed or whatever, I'm going through this. It's almost not really authentic because it's like you can change all these things because you have the ability to do so now because you've blown up. Yeah. So it's like your whole thing is like you have to be relatable and you have to have these sad things, have a messy room and drive this like rundown car, but you can change that. Yeah. But you don't change that because that's what we all relate to. Yeah. And like the minute that you succeed and there's a resolution, the story's over. Yeah. Kind of deal. Yeah. I can definitely see that. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's such a weird
I agree.
space.
It is very strange, especially losing relatability with your audience when you start growing. But I think honestly at the core of like what people consume, like psychologically people watch social media so much because we like to watch people. Humans like observing humans, and like the more, sorry, I don't mean to just like answer your question if it was more like just rhetorical. Is this
No, no,
chill?
no, no. That's
okay.
It wasn't rhetorical. It's like just an
Okay.
observation
I'm
that
like,
I
yes,
had.
oh, definitely.
It's just an observation that I had being on social media
Yeah.
when it's like I'll see like an influencer, right?
Yeah.
And like they've gone through like they had no followers and they got their followers, and then now all their content is just like them going to red carpet, them going to Paris Fashion Week, them doing this, them doing that. It's like your story is now somewhat complete.
Yeah.
You've made it. You did it. And now I'm just watching you go on your victory lap continuously.
Yeah.
So then it's like with the same thing. It's like with Emma Chamberlain. It's like we saw her succeed and she became whatever like that. So then everyone just moved on to Madeline.
Yeah, like the same person, but
like the same person, but like a different font, because we need to see that story. We need to see the relatable person go through shit and then win, succeed, resolution. Then we go on to the next thing. It's like we need that constant, and that's why it just keeps on. It's like I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know if there's an answer to that. It's just a observation that I had.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is like really interesting. I think like at our cores, we're looking for authenticity. Psychologically, humans love social media because like humans love to observe other humans. Like we learn how to integrate into society by watching, like monkey see, monkey do. So like watching social media is the same reason why people love reality TV. It's like because humans love to observe other humans. But if we find no authenticity and no relatability, like we're not learning anything like on a soul level. We're not really like taking anything in other than watching something that feels like fiction. And when people like lose their heart in growing or making it or in the victory lap, I think that's when they lose relatability. Because like you take like Jennifer Lawrence, and people loved like that era of her being like funny and like just like being a normal human. It's because like there was still authenticity within that. So I feel like it's like Emma Chamberlain just isn't going through that same struggle, but like I don't know, there's some people that still love her because like even though she's made it, she's had that like authentic vibe still. So it's like the realness regardless. And then like from a normal human watching someone make it like in your victory lap, like this is a cool podcast. I think you've done pretty well for yourself. And like I think I relate to a lot of the things about you because you do have your heart still. So I think what like people are always looking for is heart, and they're looking for like what's real.
Maybe, but then I'm like, do I? You know what I mean? Because
Really?
it's like, okay, because it's like at a certain point, how genuine are you if you're willing to like, and now we're getting like essential shit, but how genuine are you if you're willing to like press post every time you have something to say? You know what I mean? Every time you have something to say.
Well, what's the intention behind it? It's all about that, right?
Regardless of what your intention is, at a core level, you are posting and promoting it to like the masses.
Yeah, for sure.
At some sort of like
Do you find that disingenuine? Is that what you mean? Is that a word?
Yeah.
Disgenuine?
Yeah, disingenuous.
Disingenuous? Anti-genuine?
Like at a certain core level, at a certain space, it's like there is a narcissistic factor in that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like how genuine.
Well, you could be genuinely a narcissist. Like you could have, I think like I'm pretty open about like I post for attention for sure, but I also post because I want to help people. And I'm not to say like I'm like the most authentic person for sure. Like I'm still like making sure I look good on camera. Like there's still like, it's like I'm like posting while I'm pooping and stuff. But I think like, I'm not that genuine, you know. But I feel like, I don't know, there's like the relatability within just like owning your shit and just being like exactly who you are. Like you're like, you have your self-deprecating qualities that are like, I guess that's exactly how you view yourself, you know? Sorry, I don't know if we should say that one. I don't know if that was like not the vibe.
No.
I'm like, erase that, Joe.
No. It was
Joe?
good. No. It was good. It was good. Okay. I was just started like, I just feel like we just went down a philosophical pathway here.
That's good with me.
Yeah. This has become like one of the most cancer conversations.
I know.
Like
we should have it like who cries first contest.
I was on the verge. There was
me
a point.
too.
Yeah, there was a point where I was gonna cry and I had to stop myself.
Yeah, thanks for being open with me.
No, thank you for being open with me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like that's just something that's like an ongoing internal debate that I think like not everybody looks at.
Like what keeps me grounded is like knowing the way it's going to be perceived as like one person looking at their phone, and like I'm talking to one person. Like when I post something, I'm not like, oh, I'm posting this to like 1.2 million followers. Like one person's going to like look at this individually. So like kind of like feeling almost like FaceTime, like you're like just talking to a person. And that's the only thing that keeps me anchored is like, you know, when you meet someone in person and they like, give you a hug and they like genuinely love you and you're like, oh, holy shit, like we have a connection. Like this is my friend now.
Yeah.
Like you meet someone or like someone like is like driving down the street and they're like, I love you.
Yeah.
Because they've like seen your like social media content or something. Like you're connecting genuinely one-on-one with people. So remembering that instead of being like, oh, I'm like showing up for the world right now. Instead, you're like, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the only thing that keeps me anchored really is just knowing that like I just went out of town and this girl was serving me and she was my waitress, Haley.
Shout out Haley.
Shout out Haley. There were 2 girls named Haley at that restaurant and it was really cool to meet them and just know that like I've like made one-on-one connections rather than talking to the world.
So with like your music that you have coming out, what are like the goals with that? Do you want to do like, because there's ways you can do like singles. Are you just going to put it out? Are you planning like maybe an album, an EP?
Honestly, it's such a good question. I don't know if like this is like the best for my marketing branding, but I don't know yet. I've been in this like, I'll just be like authentic with this and my struggle. Like this year is so crazy in my brain. I have like, I was telling you a bit about this before, like with social media, like I do all my things on my own. Like I've moved away from my management team. I like do everything on my own. So I'm like creating an entire release plan in my brain all on my own right now. So it's been a lot of pressure to release music to like an audience that is expecting one thing. And honestly, it's all just projection. Like it's not even real. It's just like what my like fears I'm projecting onto the whole situation. But there just is so much pressure, which I'm sure like you know exactly what that feels like. To be perceived is like there's so many things that come with being perceived by so many humans and like all of, like that you can project onto that. But I think singles to begin with, but I'm still not entirely sure. I'm kind of in the phase where because I went to like production school, I'm like producing out my songs as much as I can, and then most of those are done right now and they're being like fully produced out and then mixed and mastered right now. So once I get to that point, yeah,
How many songs?
as a surprise.
Is it a surprise?
Yeah.
Okay, deal.
Yeah. How about you with your music and like?
I think it's different because I don't know how, because you work with a producer.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
With you, yeah.
So like for me, it's like it's just fun because I'm in a band. So
Right.
it's kind of like the fun in it is just like hanging out with like my
Cool.
2 best friends kind of deal. And it's like planning tours and you know if we. It's like we just jam out and it's like if a good song happens, a good song happens. But it's like I'm just happy to kind of just like
to
be
just
making
play.
to just play and just like
Wait, yeah, that's the
make
best
music
part
with
of
like
music.
my homies, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it hard about putting music out when like it's a thing that you care about. It's like everything else that I do is kind of just like there's no fear behind it because
for
I don't
sure.
really feel like that sort of like visceral connection to it. Whereas like my music is like I feel is like it's a part of me.
Yeah.
And not only is it a part of me, it's like it's a part of me and my friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like this is our creation, this is like our baby.
Yeah.
So it's like when I put it out to the world and someone says something negative about it, like that hurts because that feels like a piece of me.
Yeah, for sure.
Whereas opposed to everything else doesn't really feel like a piece of me. Like reality, it's like that's when I'm on reality television, it's like that's something
100%.
that's like hours of footage cut down by someone that I've never seen in person, that I have no idea who it is, to create a story and create a narrative that they want to create.
Yeah.
My music is 1010% me and Keegan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, if someone produces it, I can't be like, oh, blame it on the editor. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like, no,
for sure.
that's me. If
Yeah.
you don't like it, then it's like you don't like a part of me. So
Yeah.
I think that's what makes music really difficult.
Yeah, definitely. There's this quote I've seen on TikTok, and it was like, art is extremely sensitive people reporting back to everyone else like what experiencing life is like. So like literally pouring out your soul and your heart into something and then putting it on a platter for people to perceive and like relate to is like pretty wild.
Yeah.
Especially when the intention has always been for me just to make it for myself. And like once I started going to school, it was like, oh shit, I'm like actually like gonna be showing people these like very, very vulnerable, deep parts of my soul and my wounds and like parts that I haven't fully accepted. And then I'm just gonna like share that with the world. So luckily I have like a really, really heartfelt audience do I call them audience?
Yeah.
Homies.
Yeah, the homies.
Yeah, all my homies are like, they're just like, I don't know, I just feel such a deep connection with them that makes me feel safe.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly what you said, truly.
I think that's the beautiful part about songwriting is like what I realized later on was like when I first started songwriting, I always felt like I had to make a song for everyone.
Oh yeah, right. And it just like taints the art.
But like the change was like when I was like comfortable talking about my own experiences, and people can take what they wanted away from that.
Yeah.
So it's like one of my favorite songs I've ever written is a song called Drowning that a lot of people connect to. And the verses in the song are very personal. It's like I talk about like my past relationship. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like your Virgo sun and moon hates what happens next. And it's like I'm talking about my ex who was like a Virgo.
Yeah.
But it's like the one line in the song everyone related to was the hook where I say, so if you see me drowning, throw more water in the ocean.
Wow.
I don't want your pity, please. I'd rather leave all these wounds open. And I think it's like the beauty of like I love about music is the imagery that you can add to it. And you like the imagery of like you drowning in an ocean and you see somebody and it's like, don't say that, like you just despise them so much and you're so sunken in your depression that you're like, I would prefer you had a bucket of water and dumped it into the ocean
Then save me from literally drowning.
than trying to like rescue me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of people like connected to that. That was more rewarding than anything I've done that anyone has connected to in anything else, because that was a piece of me that people connected to, not something that they saw through a screen.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
I'm really excited for your music, really excited to hear it. I know it's gonna be good.
Thanks.
And I can tell how much you love the art and how passionate you are about it.
Thanks.
And I wanna have you back once it's out. And I wanna listen to it when it's like, give me some demos.
Okay.
We could trade demos.
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, you can hear some unreleased stuff.
Okay, sounds
trade
good.
music notes and stuff like that.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, and I'd love to have you back.
Thanks, I would love to come back.
Where can people follow you and anticipate the music?
Follow if you want. That's not really my vibe.
Yeah, that's.
Go ahead.
I do the same thing when I'm a guest. I'm like, if you follow me, unfollow me and follow this person. Like,
if you would like to follow me, like, please. You're welcome.
Yeah, I know. I'm the same way. I'm so bad.
Okay.
Follow Iris at Iris Dailey with 2 Y's. All right, on TikTok and Instagram.
Thank you for doing that
for
me.
I got you. No worries.
Thank you.
And make sure you guys like, follow, and subscribe to Past Your Bedtime on YouTube, and keep checking in because we got full video episodes over there. We're also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, every single platform. And you can follow me at Don't Call Dom on every single platform. That's it for the show. Thank you, Iris, for being here. Love you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll see you guys later. Bye.